My name is Vi and I'm a student of Harvard University. I heard that you graduated from Harvard University too, right?
Yeah.
So you are now the marketing manager of Apple English Vietnam and you are really famous in the field of marketing. So I am now doing a small project on my fundamental of management. My topic is trust and leadership, and I would love to have some experiences from you.
Okay. Any question for me?
So you are now a manager. So are you also a leader?
Actually, that question depends on how you look at it. For day-to-day workload, maybe I need to be a manager, but when it comes to like coaching or give my staff direction and vision, maybe I need to be in a leader role.
So can you tell me some differences between a manager and a leader?
Basically, you learn all of it in the textbook. So maybe based on my experience, a leader, then you should have like a big vision. And the biggest difference between leader and manager is that leader is really empower your staff and your follower to do and to work in their like their greatest and stuff. And for managers, it's your job to ensure that they are doing all the things like based on guidelines, do all the things that they told to do. So that's a very much a big difference. Like for me, my daily job will be like 70% will doing the managerial role, and 30% will be a leadership role.
So you are now doing two jobs at the same time. So do you think that is a good idea?
To me, it's good, but I don't know. It depends on the people you ask. Because to me, manager is the first job. You need to learn to understand your scope of work, your staff scope of work, and everything first, and then and then later on you gonna develop yourself and develop your staff. Then that's the part you need to learn to be a leader.
So imagine that you are a manager and there is another leader in your team. So there will be any problems?
Depends on either that leader is my boss or that leader is my staff.
Oh, I see.
Actually, for my current team now, I have a leader that's not based in Ho Chi Minh City. She's the general director and she's based in Hanoi. And her job is actually, like look after me, who ensure that I'm gonna do the good job with marketing and my team. So her job is like day-to-day chat and check with me what's wrong, any issue I need her help, or any direction that I'm going to, I need to report back to her. So her job actually is inspire and empower me rather than knowing actually what I'm doing day to day. So that's actually a leader, and I'm doing a managerial role.
Oh, I see. So basically there are 6 traits
Có 7 phút rồi.
that a leader is seen to differ from a non-leader. So which one you think is the most important?
To me, as I think it's the same with Apollo's value that we value the honesty of the people. So for us, it's very important to build a trusting relationship between leaders, the followers, or manager and staff, and even for our customers. So we call that the relationship between internal customers and external customers. So the trust is the most important one, because without trust you cannot build anything based on that.
So I might think that you are a leader and you may trust your followers, but as followers they just follow what they need to do and you told them to. So do they have to trust their leader?
That depends on how you choose to lead them. Because based on trust, the most important factor of trust is communication. So as a leader, first you have to communicate with them ask them the two questions. If you're going to hand them anything on project, ask them two questions. Why I want you to do this. So when they understand the vision and the mission and why they need to do this, then as a leader you need to ask them like or teach them how you can do it and what's the fastest way to do this or what's the proper ways to do it. So based on the communication, later on they're gonna have the trust on the leader that you know that your leader is guiding you on the right direction, not just leading you to nowhere. So I think that's the process that people need to learn, and people need to have proper communication in order to maintain the trust in the relationship.
Yeah, that was a good point. So we have talked a lot about the theories. So can you please give me a specific example?
Sure, I can tell you, how I manage my team at Apollo. At Apollo, with our 20 years of experience in Vietnam, so actually I have a very big team. Currently, we have 10 centers nationwide throughout, the country. We have the centers at 4 big cities in Vietnam. So my key challenge is that how I can maintain the marketing communication for the whole Apollo team as a whole. So basically we have two teams, one nationwide team, they're sitting in the same room with me, so that's not gonna be a big problem. The other teams, we call that the marketing executive at the center. So they're gonna sit at the center. So it means that I have 10 people stay in 10 different locations. And at first I thought it's like impossible to manage them because you cannot see them face to face daily. You're not gonna have weekly meeting with them. So it's impossible to know how they think. So we create a lot of things like we need to have a very clear guidelines, tell them what to do, how to do it, and then also I need to maintain on email communications for every single campaign to make sure that they understand the key message, the key promotion, how to apply the centers. And then I also create a so-called like informal communication. So we're using Skype, and there's a group on it, and I add every marketer inside the group. So if there are any change in the last minute, I just inform them informally, so they don't feel so stressful. And also every quarter, I'm gonna pay them a visit at the center to look at how they decorate the center, how they maintain the branding at the center, and give them proper guidance and like coaching or vision for the next quarter. So based on that, I also have daily, not daily, just have proper contact with them so they don't feel that they alone at the center. So even though I think it's quite challenging to maintain, but somehow we still manage to do it quite well, and all the ME I can see that every year I can see they grow very strongly. And after that, if one marketing executive that they prove themselves that they are very good, talented, and have great potential in them, and if we have new center, they can actually apply to be the center manager. So that's a very good career path for them.
So you said that the ME they stay alone in the center, for example in Hanoi. So how can you make sure that they are doing the right task, or if they are doing effectively or efficiently?
I need to have my eyes and ears at the center. So we have a system that even though they report to me, so they're gonna have dotted line report to the center manager. So the center manager is the one that's sitting there with them day by day. And the job they do is actually to do marketing for that center only, not for Apollo, because for the whole Apollo we have nationwide team to take care of that. So they're gonna have daily communication with the CM, and if there's anything they unsure about, the materials, about guidelines, about, information, they can ask me.
So do you think that you have a really large team that spreads throughout Vietnam, and is trust an important part in your working relationship?
I think trust is the most important one because there's a saying that if you don't trust that person, you cannot give them anything to do, and they're the other way around. So in order to give them the work that you think they're gonna complete, at first you have to trust them, because if you don't trust them, you are not gonna give it to them. So I think at first we have to take that risk and tell them clearly how to do it, and
As an alumni of Harvard University, do you have any advice for us to become a leader in our future career?
Mm, I remember that 10 years back then when I studied this subject, I don't have somebody to interview on the video like this. So actually you guys like 10 times better than me back then. So I believe that after graduation you guys is gonna be better. But one tip that I learned that very important for my career later is during my my studying time in Harvard, I spend most of my free time doing a lot of joining social work or doing a lot of work for student administration association. So that helps me a lot in terms of connection, and also teach me a lot in different skills that I cannot learn in the classroom. So after graduation, based on that connection, then I easily got a job, and based on that, based on observation as well, and I think I'm also lucky to meet some people that give me a right opportunity for me to shine. So I think for youngster like you guys, it's good to gather experience now. Don't think too much about the money, but the experience first, and then never say no when the opportunity knocks your door. And sure, with your skill that you have in the university, you're gonna be successful.
So the very last question. So do you think that a leader is born or made?
I think that's still a debate. Before, I think the leader, of course, you should have some trait that you were born with it and you enjoy doing it. But then also, as to be a good leader, you need to learn, and also you need to observe and get good knowledge from different sources. So I think it's either you've got to have the traits inside you, but also you cannot just let the trait lead you. You have to learn, and you have to practice to be a good leader, because you don't want you have a good trait and you be a bad leader. So I think it's both.
Thank you so much for coming today. So we wish you all the best for your career.
Thank you for inviting me, and I wish you have a good grade for this subject.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.